speciality. And we're going to go 15. And did it have, it had intellect. So let's look at that. Intellect at 250. $687. So this one's fairly similar. And they're asking $500,000. This one's similar. 1.4. Yeah, these numbers are really high, even for down this low. So I'm going to take off the intelligence and see what your options are. Are there any cheap items around our weapon DPS? Here's one under $1 million, and it's an axe, plus a lot of vitality. Seems a little ridiculous to put a life on hit gem in there, though. I'm doing it this way because I'm not sure if somebody with a wizard or a witch doctor in the high 40s is going to be valuing the intellect as much as they want a giant godly weapon DPS numbers to make them seem super powerful while leveling. Yeah, there's tons of options here before you get down to the 600s. So for this to have any chance, they are going to be needing to look for the intellect. Otherwise, it's just not going to sell. Either this holds true that people are looking for this and it maintains value for them, or it's just not going to sell. So I'd probably put it up for like 350,000, and I will do that if I have auction slots left open later, but not while I still have a half dozen items to look up. So Dex, weapon DPS, and crit damage. Our minimum was 17, our crit damage was, what was it, 23? Yeah. And our dex is 150 and change. So again, lowering those numbers between 10 and 15%. So this is a really small sample size, so it's tough to justify if these are acceptable numbers. So I'm going to take these down even further and say okay, well it's still pretty good. This only has a minimum, not a min and max. And it's only getting to 101 dexterity. So ours is absolutely better than that. This one, ours is still significantly better than it because we have we have almost 40 more dexterity, 3 more crit damage, and we've got we've got 39 divided by 2, so we've got like 19 weapon DPS as opposed to this one having 7. So significantly better than the million mark. So I'm going to say 1.45. Okay, another reduced level requirement, but it's a one-hander, so that's a little different, and it's got life on hit, which I will search for. Okay, huge jump up going from 200,000 to 400,000. And ours is what, 575? 548. Okay. So I'm going to go up to 5 here, just so we can see some top end. Not much, okay. Go to 6. Nope. Go to 8. Alright, there we go. This has got a little life steal, and it's a not even close life on hit. This is pretty adequate. But it is a mace as opposed to a dagger, so it's almost a whole third of a second difference attack speed. So take that into account. This is fairly equivalent. Still, you got it 1/5 of a second difference in attack speed. This is pretty darn close to ours. Life on hit in the 300s, but this you can get at 48 instead of 50, and it's a little bit more weapon DPS for just 1/10 of a second. So I think we want to be under this wand, enough so to attract a buyer. So I'm going to say 450 again on this. A couple more things and I'll just price them since I don't have a sale slot. Take a look at this 20% gold find on the quiver. Ours had 15 attack speed, but it's got a bunch of vitality too. So let's include vitality. Okay, pretty good. Buyers aren't caring about the magic find or the strength or anything on these other ones. So we're looking at maybe 250. I think this is maybe a, what was the Destiny Serpent? Was that one of the rings, maybe? But again, just goes to show you, you price them just right, you're only losing 10 to 15% off the top to be the first one sold, but when you've got a backup of things to get rid of, really is worth it. So some low items from this run, but there was 1.5 million from that item. We've got 1.5 from the ring. That brimstone was 250,000. This weapon I think is pretty priced to sell at 750,000. Maybe this will sell, I don't know. That gold find affix I think kind of ruins it for people. I think someone's willing to spend another 100,000 more just to get a better affix, a usable affix, because I think the only reason people would be wearing these is to complete a 2 or a 3 set, taking a little bit of a loss on quality on the boots just to get that extra dex or 7% crit chance, or even for the 4 set for that matter. I'm not familiar on which ones people wear on Natalia's, but because it's significantly above the brimstone price, it's not hovering down around 250, 260,000. It's actually up. It was at like 450. Because of that, people have to be wearing them for some reason. Okay, so I'll just price a few more here. For this one, look up intellect, resist all, and physical resist, and then scroll for some vitality, which will be a lot quicker than scrolling for physical. have physical instead. This would be a very nice piece if the intellect and vitality were both barely in the triple digits. Any of these have vitality. 24, 33, 28, 52. Yes, the vitality's getting up there. So let's flip this. And we'll scroll for a fire or physical. There's a fire right there. These are very nice starter shoulders, but the difference that happens if you just make this like 120, 100. Boom! Adding 40 to the vitality and 40 to the intelligence. So little, and you're already at 5 million. So little. And these have, there you go, it's physical, resist all. So it's really unfair. It's just a psychological barrier for people that triple digits compared to single digits. But unbelievable what that extra little push does. Okay. Dex, fire resist, and crit. Yeah, pretty worthless. Despite having really nice numbers on the dexterity and the crit. Okay, I think that about does it. The cold bows are they're going to be incredibly low because they don't have a proc chance on them, and they're both in the 500s. These are kind of the things I'm going to hold on to for a little bit. Let's take a look at this fist weapon. Attack speed and crit. Yeah, pretty worthless. You can already get up to 800 something. Okay, that's worthless, save for later, worthless, worthless, save for later. And yeah, this one based on the intelligence. Which one? I guess I'll have to review the video. I don't know if that was one I just listed or if that was one from before. Alright, that'll do it for this one.